Jude is already preparing for a revived Jewish priesthood. Ritual instruments of sacrifice are being made. Ritual vestments are being sewn. In the shadow of the Western Wall, there are Talmudic schools where eager students are trained to perform the ancient rituals of the Jewish priests. A scale model of the Third Temple has already been constructed. Yet the Muslims hold fast to the Temple Mount. In 1990, a riot erupted when a group of Jews tried to lay a cornerstone for the new temple. Many Christians believe that Jesus Christ will not return to this world until the Third Temple of Jerusalem is built. How is it possible with this tinderbox situation between Muslim and Jew?
He was given authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation.
The 10-nation dictator will intervene. He will come as a peacemaker. If possible, he will deceive even the elect. Once and for all, he will settle the conflict over the Temple Mount. There will be no further dispute. The temple will be rebuilt. And the children of Israel will rejoice. He has done more than settle a dispute, they'll say. He has fulfilled the covenant that the Lord God made with Abraham. But the celebrated dictator has other covenants to establish. He enters into an agreement in which he restores Palestine to the Israelites. This covenant marks the beginning of a 7-year period of tribulation, which will end only with the second coming of Christ.
He ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast who was wounded by the sword and yet lived.
Now the false prophet, that hidden spine of power, enthrones the dictator Antichrist in the new Temple of Jerusalem.
All the inhabitants of the earth will worship the beast, all whose names have not been written in the book of life.
His image is to be worshipped, adored, prayed to. All who refuse will be killed. The betrayed Israelites respond as their ancestors had when the Emperor Caligula tried to install his image in their temple. They revolt. They fight. And the dictator retaliates with such bloodletting that it pales the Holocaust of Hitler. The sixth sign, an invasion of Israel from the north.
You will come from your place in the far north, you and many nations with you. You will advance against my people Israel like a cloud that comes over the land.
As the times were straining towards this last decade of the century, the seemingly unbreachable Berlin Wall simply crumbled. The mighty Soviet Union disintegrated. The world reeled from the shockwaves. Biblical prophecy shed some light on what this could mean in the new millennium. Despite the dictator's spurned godhood, Israel as a nation rests prosperous and secure in its covenant with the Federated States of Europe. But the thwarted Arab nations search hastily for allies. Students of biblical prophecy are inclined to believe that a nation of the north will do battle for them.
The word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, set your face against Gog of the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Persia, Put, and Cush will be with them. Also Gomer with all his troops.
The prophet Ezekiel foresees a new coalition, the nations of Persia and Ethiopia, Put and Gomer, under the leadership of Gog of Magog, to rival the Federated States of Europe. Biblical scholars have pored over the names in this prophecy. There is unanimous agreement on some and disagreement on others. Gog means end-time ruler, and Magog a nation that is both powerful and terrifying. Some see Moscow in the word Mesek. Others disagree. Before the events of 1989, it was easy to judge the atheistic Soviet Union to be the Gog of Magog of the scriptures. With the breakup of the Soviet Union, judgments have been reassessed. And the old forces are stirring. Reunion is possible. Scholars are certain that the invasion will come from the north. For thousands of years, the land of Israel has always been invaded from the north, though north is not necessarily the location of every invader's homeland. The identity of the member states of this coalition is quite clear. Persia, which is present-day Iran, is one. Ethiopia, once allied with the former Soviet Union, is another. Put is the biblical name for what today is Libya. Only the nation called Gomer is controversial. For decades, Gomer was believed to be communist East Germany. But now that East and West Germany have been united, there are doubts. Significantly, the names of these states go back to the first book of the Bible, to Japheth, the son of Noah. After the great flood, the sons of Japheth went north to the land of Rosh. Rosh sounds like Russia. As some biblical scholars prudently point out, the name Russia, derived from the Rus Vikings who founded the kingdom of Kiev, did not come into existence until the 9th century AD. It is not clear why the federated states of Europe do not repel the Gog of Magog and his coalition. What is clear is that while Israel sleeps in the security of its new covenant, Gog and his allies attack like a cloud covering the land. The invasion is successful. However, the invaders are overly confident. They presume ownership of Israel's resources before winning them.
I will summon a sword against Gog on all my mountains.
Now the Lord God himself shows his face on the side of his chosen.
The fish of the sea, the birds of the air, the beasts of the field, every creature that moves along the ground, and all the people on the face of the earth will tremble at my presence. The mountains will be overturned, the cliffs will crumble, and every wall will fall to the ground.
Gog and his coalition are destroyed. So great is the devastation that it takes 7 months to bury all of the dead, and 7 years to dispose of the horrid debris. But this war is a mere prelude to what is to come. Zechariah of the Old Testament prophesies that all the nations will descend upon the land of Israel to do battle at Armageddon. In 1942, December the 2nd, at this site, at the University of Chicago, the atom was first split. In the split second of that first atomic flash, a new age came into being, the age of nuclear energy and of nuclear war. If the Battle of Armageddon is inevitable, it will be a holocaust of nuclear firepower. If this comes to pass, one could say the battle had its origins at this spot, where Henry Moore's commemorative sculpture now stands.